Hello Aces, it's Jonah,
And it's Sari.
here for your weekly newscast.
Hey Jonah, how have you been?
Pretty rad, how about yourself?
I've been bodacious. Let's go see how the other students have been with the Student Life Update by Travian.
Seems like the Aces had a pretty good week.
Sure did. Let's go see the Teacher Spotlight with Mr. Moore made by Cooper and Macy.
This year at Hicksville High School, we have gained several new staff members. One of these staff members is Intervention Specialist Mr. David Moore.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Moore to our staff. I think he's been a great addition to what we provide here at Hicksville, which are teachers that build relationships. He's a great guy, comes from a great family. He actually has a lot of connections with Hicksville and Northwest Ohio. We're excited to have him here, and we're hoping that he'll just make our school better. And in the future, I know that he has the aspirations to coach here, and we're looking forward to having him on staff there also. So good luck to Mr. Moore, and welcome.
He was born in 1969 and went to Woodland High School. At Woodland, he participated in football, wrestling, and golf.
I would say my favorite high school experience in sports would have been the camaraderie of team sports in general, but probably the driving to and from golf practice. That was always fun because regardless of how you got there, it was always a competition more than even playing the game. Driving to Ponder River Golf Course from the high school itself was always entertaining.
After graduating from Woodland in 1988, he went to Ball State. He was a punter for the Ball State Cardinals and majored in education. Mr. Moore said he has always liked working with kids and helping them succeed. He became a coach in 1993. While working at Wayne High School, he coached football and wrestling.
Probably my favorite coaching moment would have been at a point of which we had already won our conference wrestling tournament, and it was down to our final wrestler. And during that match, it came to a tie going into the final match of the heavyweight. And during that time, while we were busy coaching, was not aware that the entire team had kind of come alongside behind us and were rooting on that single wrestler. He ended up winning the match, and the Fort Wayne newspaper captured the moment of which he got that final takedown in the overtime to win the match, of which the entire team was jumping up in the air. Myself and the other coach were fist pumps in the air to win that match. And what makes that special is the fact that each and every one of those team members was sacrificing and or excited about someone else's success rather than just the team success. Even though we had already won the tournament, it was about that one individual overcoming something that he wasn't supposed to win the tournament, wasn't supposed to win that match, and coming from behind and tying it up and then winning in overtime was something special, and the fact that everyone else was excited for him made it all that much more special.
While coaching at Woodland, Mr. Moore met and coached with Mr. Smith.
I met Mr. Moore 15, 16 years ago. He was one of the first coaches that kind of took me underneath his wing and kind of gave me the opportunity to coach special teams at Woodland, and then taught me a lot about special teams and kind of gave me that first start into coaching, and then just always been there as a great friend, and been on vacation with him, and he's just a great guy who puts kids and other people first, and he's a great addition to have here at Hicksville.
Outside of school, Mr. Moore enjoys spending time with his wife and 4 kids.
I guess coming to Hicksville takes me back to my roots. I grew up in the small town of Woodburn, just across the state line, and always loved the idea of community, the small town atmosphere. Growing up with that and knowing that I wanted to be a Woodland Warrior at the time, and always knew and looked up to everybody that was there, wanting to be at that moment at some point in time. And I guess I always longed for that as a teacher and coach. I taught in Fort Wayne Community Schools for 25 years, and it just did not have that same kind of feel, did not have that same kind of support within the community because it's a much larger city. And Coach Smith was always emailing me. We've always been good friends, in contact with each other, and his persistence kind of paid off. And I benefited from that because to me this is just an awesome experience thus far, and I know that it's something that I'm going to appreciate more and more in the years that I'm here.
Welcome to the Aces family, Mr. Moore.
Hey, sit up straight.
Oh, sorry. Let's go check out essential number 6.
Okay, class, f of x equals x plus 3. Does anybody know the answer?
Mr. Sullivan, answer's 5.
Good job, Cooper. Way to follow essential number 6.
Don't forget to use your essentials, Aces.
Man, I'm so glad it's Football Friday.
Me too. It's my favorite sport to cheer for.
That reminds me, let's go check out this week's sports with the Sportscast.
Thanks, Sarah and Joe. It's Mason.
In Brooklyn here with your weekly sports.
On Saturday, the cross-country team had an invitational in Antwerp and placed 8th.
Nathan Sullivan finished 22nd with a time of 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Taylor Metz finished 10th with a time of 22 minutes and 5 seconds. The football team played Edgerton at Hicksville on Friday night and lost 52-36.
Mason Comiso had 129 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. Braden Langham had 88 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. Jacob Miller had 36 yards rushing with a touchdown. And Landon Turnbull had 78 yards receiving. On Saturday, the girls' volleyball team played Eden at home.
JV lost in 2 sets and varsity lost in 3 sets. Kennedy Phillips had 10 digs and 20 assists. Kennedy Valena had 18 digs and Molly Krall had 9 kills. On Monday, the girls' volleyball team had a game at Montpelier.
JV won in 3 and varsity won in 3.
On Tuesday night, the volleyball team played at Antwerp. JV lost in 2 sets and varsity lost in 5 sets.
The football team plays tonight at Fairview. The theme is Flannel Night.
Good luck tonight, boys.
And now back to Sari and Joe.
Keep working hard, aces.
Vaping isn't cool. It makes you look like a fool.
I 100% agree. Let's go check out the PSA made by Peyton, Brooklyn, and Lindsay.
birthday is not coming up?
I know. Let's go see whose birthdays are coming up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
It's been getting real chilly lately.
For sure. Let's go check out the weather with Chloe.
Hi Aces, it's Chloe with your weekend weather. On Friday there is a high of 72 and a low of 36 with an 80% chance of rain. On Saturday they're in a high of 53 and a low of 40 with a 10% chance of rain. On Sunday there is a high of 63 and a low of 38 with a 0% chance of rain. See you next week, Aces.
Dang, senior year is really flying by.
Sure is. Let's go check out the Senior Spotlight video created by Sari.
This week's Senior Spotlight is Sari Contreras. Sari is 17 years old and has 3 siblings, Joe, Eric, and Gabe. She is also the daughter of Autumn and Rick Contreras. Sari's plans after high school are to attend BGSU for communications. Sari's favorite memory from high school would be being undefeated GMC champs for cheerleading. If Sari could change one school rule, it would be our phone usage. Sari's favorite teacher is Mr. Mike Blue. He has helped her so much in the past few years with school and just being able to joke around with one another.
That's all this week, Aces. Stay essential.